Baseball and chess. Let's talk about that. Folks, welcome to the Baseball Brewhaha. Thanks for joining us again. Interesting topic this week. I want to talk a little about chess. Now, I'm not a huge chess player. What about you, Adam? Are you a frequenter of the chess?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. But you know generally how to play.
Yeah, I know how the pieces move, but
Yeah.
once we get talking about any sort of strategy, I'm out of that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm much the same. I'm not a big, I don't know all the stuff, but my kids and I were recently invited to go listen to a guy who's, I believe he's a chess grandmaster, um, give a presentation, kind of talk. He's got a really interesting background. He's been a police officer and different things. And so he was talking about chess and life. And so I thought, we got to talk about chess and baseball. Now, Adam, so when I say chess and baseball, what are some first things that come to mind for you? Because he talked about some interesting things with chess and life that I think some ways it's nothing new, but you put it in a little different verbiage and different context, and you gain new insights.
Yeah, well, the things that come to mind right off the top is baseball can be a little bit of like a chess match or described in that way, where there's some strategy and you do this, then I do this, and I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about my relief pitching situation in the seventh inning, even though it's only the first inning, similar to how in chess you're thinking about
Mm-hmm.
ideally as many moves ahead as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Um, and then I also think about, especially with the recent new shift rules,
Mm-hmm.
the pieces get placed on certain parts of the board, and then there are restrictions on how and when they can move.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are good, Adam. I'm impressed here. I'm very impressed with the strategy. Yeah, it's challenging because when you watch your favorite team and you see them make a move like a pinch hitter or a starting lineup or something like that, and you're just like, why did they do that? And it doesn't make any sense, and I don't like it, and all that kind of thing. Um, Sometimes it is a bad move when you're in chess. When you play chess, if you're not a grandmaster like myself, like Adam, sometimes you just make a dumb move. You're like, oh, that looks good. And then you like make your move and you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
what have I done? What have I done?
Mm-hmm.
But and it's crazy because think about professional baseball players and their level of just like execution, um, intelligence, all the things that are just unbelievable. And watching the this grandmaster play chess. So, um, and granted, most of it was against like younger kids and that kind of thing. So less experienced players for sure. A cool experience for my kids, and other kids get to play chess with grandmaster. Um, but the level is just like, I mean, it's like Major League Baseball players playing against middle school kids. It's basically what
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like. So just the level of intelligence, um but really fun. And he had some interesting things to say. I thought one of them that I thought was really unique to chess, and he applied it to life as well, is that um in chess you have all the pieces in front of you. and you're 100% in control of what you do, like what move you make, but you're also responding to a situation. But um, there is maybe effectively no luck involved in chess. So it's not even like you play a card game, poker or something like that. There is skill involved, but there's also a certain amount of luck involved as far as getting the card to flip. Even if
Yeah.
you're a card counter and you can kind of think about the odds don't guarantee that you're going to get a certain card. So I thought that was really interesting. Do you have any initial thoughts on that? Obviously, there could be some luck in the sense of if your opponent makes kind of a unintelligent move per se. But there is no like, oh, I drew this card and I must make this move.
Yeah, there's certainly no luck in terms of what you are doing.
Yes.
You're making that choice each time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so when it comes to thinking about baseball,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose there are some parallels in terms of at certain levels of preparation or
Mm-hmm.
certain levels of playing the game, there there's only sort of like I'm making choices of what to do. Um, but unlike chess, there
Mm-hmm.
are other variables that can happen that can be perceived as luck.
Mm-hmm.
I think about who was I don't remember who the guy was who hit the game-winning walk-off hit into center field that hit off a bird and got deflected away
Oh, I
from
don't remember
his.
that one. I don't know
Yeah,
that one.
so it was like the guy on second base hit up
Mm-hmm.
the middle, was gonna be a play at the plate because
Mm.
it was hit fairly sharply right at the center fielder. He was gonna be able to make a play. Flock of birds chilling in the grass. It's hits one of the birds as it's flying away and like deflects away from the center fielder.
Mm-hmm.
Ball game. There's
Yeah.
no amount of like, yeah, I planned that one.
Yeah. Well, and even you think like watching the Mariners play day games in T-Mobile Park. Um, there are um there are certain there are usually a couple times a year ball gets lost in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like that's kind of a luck thing. You just happen to hit it in the right spot that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like um the results in baseball come predominantly from skill and practice um and execution. But you think about when somebody hits a 100 mile an hour line drive and the shortstop jumps and catches it, um, versus hitting a ball 44 miles an hour and it trickles down the third baseline and you get a hit. Like
Yeah.
there are a certain amount of, I mean, a certain amount of luck in one sense. I don't know. I suppose it's one of those things um, where it's like if yeah, if you had played in the right, if everybody had played their pieces in the right spot type of a thing. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, but you don't have when you swing a baseball bat, it's not too often that you just have full control over
Yeah.
where the ball is going. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's it's different. So but I thought it was interesting just him talking about that. We our life is predominantly made up of the choices we make. And
Mm-hmm.
there are things that you could consider are luck, but if you're putting yourself in a position where you're learning and growing and trying to get better. You're making this decision, you're whatever it is. Most of our life unfolds directly because of decisions we make, not because of we got lucky about something.
Yeah, or even beyond luck because of something we can't control or something that
Yeah.
a person did.
Mm-hmm.
Those things impact the decisions we make, but
Mm-hmm.
we ultimately make the decisions that come next.
Yes. Yeah. We have to respond to those things in our life. Um, so yeah, it was interesting too watching him as he was playing chess. He was giving some um, a little bit of explanation and context of that when he's making these chess moves, he is it doesn't those aren't happening in a vacuum. He has an idea of what he is trying to do. And so it's, you think about like um what you were talking about baseball with a shift or something else, is that you are trying to position yourself in such a way to maximize the likelihood of victory for yourself.
Hmm.
And um, chess, you control that a bit more than say baseball. You can shift your guys, but like we were just saying, you shift your guys and the hitter swings a little bit late and he shoots it through the hole. Those are milliseconds
Yeah.
uh, of just swinging the bat at a certain time.
Hmm.
So yeah, any other thoughts that you have on this whole? I mean, the thing is, we don't have unlimited knowledge here about chess and all the little different nuances and that kind of thing. So just working with some of the fun things that were brought um, by this grandmaster and had a good time.
Yeah, I started thinking about other types of games just as you were talking, and I was thinking about um, chess and baseball. Another aspect that they share that many games and sports share is it's like one team versus another team, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to have one team win, and you win, you win by um, uh, destroying the other team enough.
Mm-hmm.
And in the case of chess, by literally killing all the people in their pretend kingdom, really
Mm-hmm.
is what you're trying to do. I suppose you don't have to kill everybody, but that's typically maybe often what happens is many
Mm-hmm.
of the people in the kingdom die. And so I was just thinking about, I know that there are games out there that are cooperative,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and imagining a world
Mm-hmm.
in which baseball was cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious what that might look like. And then I immediately jump to like Sandlot baseball,
Yep.
like you do.
Mm-hmm.
And, are there ways to enjoy baseball that sort of eliminate the need for um, like one team to have to win?
Yeah. Well, Sandlot baseball is definitely the way to do that.
Hmm.
Both, I've done that obviously with the kids where we're just out there having fun. We're playing, kids are getting at bats. It's live game play situations.
Yeah.
We don't keep score. Um, you know, sorry for the people out there who want to keep score at everything. Apologize. Um, but we don't. And part of that is it allows us to have an environment where we literally have a 5-year old playing with a 15-year-old and safely, I will add, um, and be able to have that happen on um, the same field and give all those kids experience because like I mean even if you say okay those are the very extremes 5 to 15, well most of the kids that come are 8 to 12. Well look, 8 and 9 year olds don't play on the same field. 9 and 10 year olds sometimes do. 9 and 11 year olds, 9 and 12 year olds certainly don't. And so you would have to in order to get this kind of playing with this group of kids, you'd have to have 5 different teams, full teams.
Mm-hmm.
And it just is it's just a way to get repetition and play and for a lot of these kids, they don't play on leagues. And so it's a way for them to have fun
Yeah.
and play. It is interesting though, because I had mentioned a couple weeks ago, I read the Sean Green book, and he talked sort of like kind of the mentality and sort of this almost kind of like a Zen, if you will, kind of being in the zone. And one thing he talked about is when he was really in a really good space mentally, he was not thinking in terms of being in opposition with the pitcher. He was thinking in terms of the the pitcher and the hitter working together.
Mm. Interesting.
Because if you think about it, it does make sense. Like in order for baseball to function, the pitcher must throw the ball in such a way. I mean, he doesn't have to throw it such that the batter hits it. You know, he could walk him on 4 pitches or whatever.
Yeah.
But the general point is to throw it in a zone in which the batter can hit it. Um, and so if you think about it that in that way, it is collaborative. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're playing by rules. Yeah, you have opposition, but anyway, that was when you were talking about that, I was thinking about that. Did you have any, what do you think about that?
I was just thinking about I was having these miniature thought experiments. It's like or seeds of thought experiments, and I do this in my life sometimes where I'm just like, I wonder if life was totally different. What might that be like?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was thinking about different types of games. So like chess is like one on one, which is
Mm-hmm.
very much how like baseball is, like one
Mm-hmm.
team, one team. And this thought experiment about like literally if there were two teams playing a collaborative game of baseball, what would that what could that possibly be like? And I'm imagining something like um they're they're both playing against like AI robots or something, and they're like trying um
Mm-hmm.
to work together to score X number of runs or whatever. Um, or even there's like a an arbitrary, not arbitrary, but there's a chosen score or target of score or something
Mm-hmm.
needs to happen in a certain amount of time or by a certain number of innings or something. And then I started thinking about other kinds of games, like multiplayer games. What if there's even like thinking like a game like Uno has s- not unlimited, but maybe like you could play with up to six or eight players in one game happening in succession, right? And so like
Mm-hmm.
what if baseball was like that and there were like six or eight teams at one time playing in succession?
Mm.
What would that be like? Um, and not like a round robin where you play a whole game against one team and
Mm.
then another. It's like, the first inning includes like um, everyone taking a turn of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And what would that be like? And it I'm just like, maybe just entertaining myself thinking about the different possibilities of ways that baseball could be enjoyed by many more people in a more sort of expansive
Hmm.
way.
Yeah.
And I'd be curious, like, if there are people who are listening who are not totally annoyed with what I'm saying right now,
Hmm.
because what I would say would like totally ruin the essence of much of what people love about baseball. But
Hmm.
if you just were like to track the thought experiment a little bit, if you could think of a game,
Hmm.
like maybe a favorite board game, and just like imagine
Hmm. What?
what
Yeah.
would baseball be like as like Mousetrap?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking like, is the Savannah Bananas
Oh,
cl
yeah, it,
close?
it might be.
I mean, you still have a competition, but at the same time, it's like it really is way more about the entertainment value and
Yeah.
provided. I mean, there is a baseball-ish game. I mean, it is baseball, but it has very modified rules in some regards, and the scoring is modified and things like that. So it is an interesting um different, but it is fan focused entertainment first.
Yeah,
So when
but
you have
I'm not even thinking about fan focus. I'm just thinking
yeah.
about different type of play. And then I start thinking about, when it comes to like Savannah Bananas, people say it's not real baseball.
Hmm.
And I think I might tend to agree with them. Um, but then I'm wondering, well, what is real baseball and how, like, at what point, what's the tipping point? Like the
Hmm.
actual tipping point from when it becomes baseball to not baseball. What would your answer be to that?
Well, that's a good question because we have I think our culture and we are so accustomed to saying like, well, what counts in baseball is essentially what is Major League Baseball or something close to that, where it's like, the rules are slightly different, like college and high school and little league and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what really matters is that general style of play that produces a winner and loser and a champion at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I go out in the cul-de-sac with my kids, and it starts with one of my kids saying, "Hey, Dad, can you pitch to me so I can hit?" Five other kids come out, and I pitch to them. They were hitting, we're fielding. Like that isn't. We don't call it something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
let's go play swing a stick.
Right. Yeah.
We say let's go play baseball in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
That's what we say. So right, what is it exactly? Because there's no competition, obviously. So um yeah, it's a great thought exercise. Um,
And
you
it's
know,
and it sounds like you don't know how you would answer that question. You wouldn't
no,
know
yeah.
what line would need to be crossed.
I think in some ways it depends on what are you expecting out of the experience? Because if you say, I want a champion at the end of the thing, then what I'm doing in my cul-de-sac is not really baseball. It's more like batting practice, which
Mm-hmm.
is a baseball activity, but it is not
Yeah.
a baseball game. It's not
Yeah.
baseball. Um, so so I think there's some element of you got to define what end result you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm thinking in my mind, like, what is a baseball game and what is not a baseball game?
Yeah.
Not in terms of activity, but like your typical fan. that
Mhm.
goes to a major league game,
Mhm.
and let's imagine rules keep changing over time. At what point would a fan watching the game enter the stadium, sit down, and watch and think, this is not baseball anymore? This is not a baseball game anymore. This is a different baseball activity.
Yeah. So yeah, then you start throwing in like celebrity softball and Savannah
Uh-huh.
Bananas, and those are different. Those are
Yeah.
different. So um yeah, this is good. I think this is a good one to continue thinking on and pondering on and picking up because um yeah, so we should come back with some game ideas or like think of some games, collaborative games in particular. If we were to turn those into a baseball game, what would it look like?
Uh-huh.
So let's ponder on that. In the meantime, we have some baseball cards to open. Adam and I behind the scenes have a non-baseball game happening, fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
So this is based on real people playing real baseball games, and we get points for pretending like we've done something. We've done nothing. We've done.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've clicked buttons and put them on our fantasy team.
we
That's
did.
what we've done.
We
Yeah.
have. Yeah, um, but the players are what make this happen.
Hmm.
So um, we're opening some cards to kind of we're coming into playoffs in our not playoffs isn't quite yet. We're in the stretch run for the regular season, but for our fantasy league, it's playoff. So we're adding to the roster slightly, and so we're gonna open up some cards, which we like to do anyway. And I guess you have to sometimes you start to wonder, like, man, why why do baseball cards exist? Given the context so we were just talking about, right? Because if all we did is just do batting practice all the time, batting baseball cards likely do not exist.
Hmm. Yeah.
Do not. Who
Yeah.
wants to collect some guy going in his cow pasture, swinging a bat? No, ain't nobody collecting my card out in my cul-de-sac, ripping tennis balls over my house.
No, that's
No,
not gonna
nobody
happen.
cares. All right.
Mhm.
So we got Matt Chapman, little shiner. Reds. It's difficult. We already have a bunch of these cards. Nick Lodolo, Bryson Stott, Ben Rice, Nimmo, Nolan Shawnoel. I mean, I think I have this exact pack. Trevor Larnick, Davis Schneider, Gabriel Moreno. I mean, literally, Tyler Glasnow. Every one of these cards I have already.
You have
Bro,
Matt Chapman already.
this is the card. Yes. I have Matt Chapman, who's on the injured list. But every single one of these players, bro.
Okay.
So little context. We're trying to open this up to add players to our roster.
Yeah. Yeah, because
And
at the beginning of the fantasy season, we opened packs
mhm,
that then became our pool of players to draw from when we did our fantasy draft.
mhm, yeah. So all right, and here's again not helpful. You have Aaron Judge on one of your
Mhm.
rosters. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Well, so maybe we'll see Joey Ortiz.
Okay.
Maybe have Andres Jimenez. Not helpful. Also Kim, Singh, Bradley Blaylock. Terrible. Also Reese Olson. Bro, this is all Logan Webb.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Sean Reynolds. Anybody?
Okay.
We got a multiple pitcher card. I have all these guys. Scooble, Barrios Lugo, Jorge Soler, also Richie Palacios, Andres Chaparral, and Sean Reynolds. Orelvis Martinez. Bro,
We didn't gain any ground here.
between you and I, and mostly just by myself, I opened 24 cards, and I'm pretty sure that I personally opened and had prior 18 to 20 of these already. So, I mean, I'm looking, maybe we got 2 guys to add, something of that nature. But I mean, look at me. Is Orelvis Martinez moving the needle?
Maybe. What position does old Elvis play?
Shortstop, third base.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. It's disappointing, bro.
Yeah. That's what you get with cards, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like for my son he's been wanting to buy more baseball cards. He bought some packs this summer from the card shop, which are overpriced. Um, and he got like 3 or 4 packs and got, a couple of cards like Mariners or something like that, but generally like pretty pretty tough packs. Um, but then he opened a couple more this last week, and he had some hits. Juan
Nice.
Soto. He got his first Paul Skeens card. Was real nice. Had some some real good cards in there. So that was fun to see. But yeah, that's sort of like it's just what it is with baseball cards. That was our experience growing up. And it's weird because I'm sure we went through packs where like, dude, there's nothing here. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like we've said before, every card was like meaningful in some way to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know if you have more to add to that, but
It's an exciting process. You don't know who you're gonna get,
mm-hmm,
what pose, what kind of like the
mm-hmm,
insert or parallel or whatever you're gonna get. You just
mm-hmm,
don't know. You could get your favorite player,
mm-hmm,
and there's just an excitement that comes along with it,
mm-hmm.
no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the one like disappointment is when you get like literally an exact same pack that you already had. Like
Hmm.
this one with the judge had a couple of different cards, but the other one was like identical. That kills me. It's like you couldn't mix those cards up a little bit.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. So, well, that's gonna do it for us this week. I talked way too much this week, bro. I gotta get you rolling next time. So that's what we're gonna do.